Hey, what's up, guys? How y'all doing today? Well, if your name is Miss Tiffany Haddish, you really want to get back to your old thing. If you guys don't know, Tiffany Haddish is now suing the officers in Georgia that basically have her on. Let's get into this. If you guys don't know, Tiffany Haddish was shamed and basically got put on a dry program because in Beverly Hills on Wilshire Boulevard, so you know how like when LA turns into when Westwood turns into Brentwood and it's the Wilshire going through it, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? Tiffany Haddish was found. This is basically a highway in the city. It's the largest street. It's a street, it's a boulevard, but it's actually like a highway that runs through LA. It connects LA. There's always going to be traffic on it. Tiffany Haddish was found with her car running at a light, slumped over the wheel. People were honking and going around. Thank God she passed out because she could have actually hurt not just herself, but worse, someone else. Very dangerous situation. People know for a while that Tiffany has allegedly been fighting them demons, windmilling on them. Now, if you guys don't know, she also had a case in Georgia for the same driving under the influence where they found her slumped over her wheel just like Beverly Hills, but this was prior to Beverly Hills, okay? Slumped over her will, doing all this. They put her on probation. When so that in Georgia happened first. When she went to Beverly Hills and that happened, that's when Georgia said, nope. Listen, you're gonna have to do mandatory testing for alcohol and rugs. Remember, she was on that freedom flight to show us what was going on in the West Bank, and all she got was bullied and mean girl by somebody made her eat pickles on camera, glaring at her like she was there for some pay. She been tap dancing, trying to get back in with the powers that be, right? Anyway, um, she was on that flight and she's like, oh, this is just orange juice. Okay, girl, orange juice got you looking like that and acting like that. But she said it was orange juice, so we'll take her word for it. Well, now Tiffany said, y'all not going to treat me this anymore. And she was going back and suing Georgia for saying that. So in Georgia, let me pull this up because it's actually really, really funny. She's suing Georgia, saying that she accused the officers of an unlawful search in the DUI trial. And when I tell you the linchpin argument she's making as to why she shouldn't have to submit to mandatory testing, even though Tiffany has shown that she is spinning out of control. In my opinion, I think that mandatory testing really keeps her from going out of control, but she feels like it's cramping her style because she don't got to go to Georgia to get it. She can go anywhere and get it. They can actually come to her. Ask yourself, why don't you want that way, right? She's gearing up for Georgia DUI trial, and she plans to accuse officers of an unlawful search. Get this. Tiffany will be in the courtroom next month to fight the DUI case fought in Georgia months after she reached a plea deal in her DUI case in LA. According to court documents obtained by InTouch, the Georgia judge scheduled Tiffany's long delayed trial for August 26th. Oh, it's not over. There's more. Hold on. The case was fought over the comedian's arrest in January 2022. Peachtree City PD officers claimed they received a call about a driver, right, who had fallen asleep. A driver who had fallen asleep at the wheel. The officers said they were provided a description of the vehicle. They said they pulled over Tiffany's car because of the description provided to them. Now, they said they smelled Mary Jane and arrested her for driving under the influence. She was released from custody a few hours later after posting a $1,666 bond. Now, Tiffany denied allegations and she entered a plea of not guilty. I'll tell you one thing in Hollywood, they need to get a civil rights action lawsuit, all the Hollywood stars, because whenever anybody is arrested, taken into custody, whenever anything's rated, baby, don't you know it's entrapment? Everybody in Hollywood's innocent of everything. Anyway, the Georgia case dragged on for over a year. In November 2023, she was arrested in Beverly Hills and cited for DUI. Now, get this. Law enforcement sources told TMZ Tiffany allegedly fell asleep behind the wheel of her car while it was running. The car was on and she fell asleep. She didn't even have that bad in park. Anyway, she had just performed at a comedy show hours earlier, so she was like ready to partake. Okay. LA District Attorney's Office hit her with 2 charges over the incident: DUI and driving with a blood alcohol of over 0.08%. She was sloshed. Following the arrest in LA, Georgia prosecutors demanded new provisions be added to Tiffany's bond. In their motion, they asked the judge presiding over the DUI to order Tiffany not to drink or use any rugs and requested she submit to a weekly rug test. In December 2023, the judge signed off on the request and ordered Tiffany to comply with the new terms. 2 months later, Tiffany reached a deal with the Los Angeles prosecutors. Now, interesting enough, that deal was reached after she went to the bank to show us what was really going on. Anyway, right? They agreed to drop the DUI charges and replace it with a reckless driving charge. Money talks. Tiffany was sentenced to probation and avoided any jail time. Following the court win, the Georgia judge Tiffany's drug testing to bi-monthly instead of weekly. Now get this, they're fighting the case. Tiffany's lawyer argued the charges should be dismissed because the officer did not have reasonable suspicion to detain her. He said the officers, you guys listen to this, he said the officers were notified of a driver who had fallen asleep in a white Chevrolet SUV with a possible Florida tag. Tiffany's lawyer said the comedian was driving a white Ford Explorer with Florida tags. Her attorney said the officers noted they followed Tiffany but claimed she did not violate any traffic laws. He argued the traffic stop was illegal and therefore any evidence derived therefore of must be suppressed. He said the fruits of unlawful seizure of Tiffany's person should not be used in the case on the grounds they were fruit of an unlawful search and seizure. This is a reach, and I get it. And like half of me wants to be like, you know what? Screw it. Do what you can. But the other half of me is like, because but the other half of me is like, real talk, you know, people can die from Tiffany and her vices and her games. And as much as people want to say she's a sweet person, she's this, she's that, give her another chance, go play with your life with her. You go sit in the car next time she leaves her comedy show or when they find her at an intersection slumped over. Who are you just because you want some of her clout, her money, whatever, that you guys are willing to let this person who can't control themselves keep driving around? A Ford, what is this? A Chevrolet? This is what you're saying? A white Chevrolet SUV with a possible Florida tag. Tiffany said she was driving a white Ford Explorer with a Florida tag. Anyway, for her part, Tiffany recently spoke out about being happier now that she's sober. I'm very sober. I haven't had a drink since the LA incident. When I sit back and look at my life, everything that's crazy that's happened is because somebody or myself had alcohol in the system. You mean the way Tiffany was at an event and she said that slavery wasn't bad because they needed slaves to build the country? Listen, let me tell you something. Tiffany Haddish might make people laugh. She might make this, and I don't know her as a person, so I can't say whether she's a good person or bad. I think that she is in the throes of a vice. A vice. I think she has trouble making good decisions, and until she shows that she has at least been sober for at least a year, why would you let her even the chance of relapsing? Again, she might think it's mean, but I think this is actually her. This is protecting her from herself. But let me know. Let me know what you think because honestly, I just think it's like it's a little weird. It's getting a little weird. This woman hasn't even been sober for a year. It's getting weird. Anyway, y'all, let me know what you think in the comments. Talk later. Bye.